So this video is going to be about MBTI. I think this has been going on for quite a bit. It's just that with the recent times, people are starting to wanting to get to know themselves better, knowing others better, which is always something very positive. It's an important part of MBTI that is being missed out by the community, forums that I've looked through, and even the people that I encounter on a daily basis. Whenever we talk a little bit about personality type, oh, my MBTI is, these 4 letters, but it appears that they only know the surface of it. So my intention of this video is to share with you how you can actually utilize MBTI to help you with understanding yourself on a deeper level. Also to be able to decode the why, to find out, oh, okay, if this is my type, what is causing it, and what you can then do after in order to improve yourself, in order to transform yourself, in order for you to reach your potential. So in short, what MBTI is just one of the most popular personality assessment tool out there. If you have heard of things like Enneagram and Big Five, MBTI is one of it, and I believe that it is one of the oldest. Going back to the origin, obviously MBTI came from Carl Jung's concept on psychological type. It is a lot deeper than what we think it is. So personality development and psychology is obviously a very complex topic to talk about. I have been going to this rabbit hole for quite a few years now before being comfortable to talk about it. I was actually studying this all by myself until I came to a point where in my career that I decided that I need some form of certification in order to get more opportunities, in order for me to really apply and practice real work by coaching people. And therefore, I'm actually an MBTI certified practitioner. But I'm here today to tell you that MBTI is more than just the 4 letters. Can you approach MBTI or these 4 letters that you already have, or maybe now you're interested to take the test and you actually want to know what are your 4 letters? Essentially, personality is a way we conduct ourselves. It is, in other words, your ego. It is when you are going through the test and you are obviously selecting answers to the questions that's being asked. So are you a spontaneous person? Are you a planner? This is who you think you are, which is essentially your ego. It's, in a way, before all these sophisticated tools and frameworks were developed, namely MBTI, as they're able to kind of like give you a structure on how to identify certain types based on their preferences, and along other models as well, like Big Five. So how I can best describe personality is, it's just like you are, when you encounter someone, or even sometimes when you get to know yourself, after you do certain things, you also start reflecting and start to, like, not to say judge, although actually that's what it is. It's basically you are categorizing or trying to understand why you do certain things, or even why other people do certain things. Before all these tools or framework, you are essentially looking at a photograph, but the photograph is kind of blurry. So you can kind of like identify a few things. Oh, this particular photograph, it kind of looks a little bit like nature. There's a bit of green, there's a bit of blue. You can kind of make a bit of sense out of it. It's just that, by understanding the frameworks of MBTI, kind of turns this blurry photograph into a little bit more HD. It's a bit more defined. It is more specific. Now, it is not for you to make very general statements about, oh, because you are this type, this is how you're going to be. It is supposed to guide you in some sense. It's not supposed to dictate how you should perceive of someone. What most people don't know about MBTI is, I was looking through the forums, and this is on Reddit, which is essentially why a lot of people got turned off about MBTI. People see this kind of post, they instantly think about, oh, you know what? This is why I don't take personality assessments, because it's like, it's such a stereotype. How can you box people, different types of people in the world that have different upbringing, into only 16 types? This post itself essentially is already kind of creating the misconception of what MBTI is all about. If you look at the 4 letters, the 4 letters is what it is. So if you look at this, essentially, this is what makes an ISFJ, which is not true. It's that double-edged sword, right? Where, we want to know something that is complex about ourselves. So we approach this kind of concepts and theories. And then at the same time, we can also get turned off by it when it is too simplified, because obviously we don't like things that are too difficult to understand. When it's too simplified, we immediately reject it and say that it's just there for people to easily make judgment about other people. The power of MBTI lies in your understanding of cognitive functions. So essentially what cognitive function is, it would explain the whys and the how of your particular type. The 4 letters itself is just telling you what is your type. So the best example that I can explain is, okay, if we look at fruits, okay, assuming fruits are human, we know that there are different types of personalities, there are different types of fruits. Who are a little bit more interested in understanding people, you will come to a conclusion that, oh, you know what, this is a banana, this is an apple, this is a watermelon. So you will start to categorize or label people in a sense. So the usefulness of MBTI lies in the specifics of that type, what makes the type behave in a certain way, which is why the concept of cognitive function. Now, when I was going through my MBTI certification, unfortunately they did not elaborate a lot of it, and I think that kind of obviously made me want to know about it even more. So I went into explorative mode where I was consulting different people, reading different books that also challenges the idea of MBTI. Come to a conclusion, I obviously support MBTI because I know that it's very accessible. Most people would understand it to a certain extent. It is just that if you miss out on cognitive function, you are missing out on a lot of things that would actually help you to become more effective and to help you to reach your potential. Maybe even before talking about doing anything to improve yourself, maybe the first step is to have an heightened self-awareness. So in short, how do you find out your cognitive function is the interaction between your 4 letters. So for example, you are ENFJ. So the interaction of it that results in type dynamics. So these are the cognitive functions, and I think because this term is quite technical, I like to call it a mental role or a mental attitude that you will have in terms of how you will usually present yourself, project yourself to the world, and what are some of the things that are like your blind spot or your insecurities. You know, all of us would have that. So if you'd like to find out more about your specific cognitive function, it's very simple. Just Google your MBTI type and cognitive functions. You'll be able to see a stack which is specifically for 4 cognitive functions that is unique to your MBTI type. I know some of you who are already very passionate about this kind of things, you would kind of more or less get what each of the cognitive function is trying to explain to you, and you will find some resonance in terms of, oh, why I behave the way that I behave and why I do certain things and why I don't do certain things. Anyways guys, I'm going to wrap this up. If you are interested in knowing more about MBTI, you can always reach out to me. Maybe this is just a start where I will incorporate a little bit more about personality type and even linking it to your fashion style, because actually there's a very strong correlation to it. So please stay tuned to the upcoming videos, and I will see you in the next one.